The chair will convene a meeting so the team can discuss the new budget. The university will convene a conference where researchers can share their findings. The mayor convened a committee to investigate the housing shortage. The court convened a panel of judges to review the appeal. Parliament convened a special session to vote on the emergency law. The two governments convened peace talks to seek an end to the conflict. The manager called a meeting to explain the changes to the staff. The medical association called a conference to discuss the new disease. The Prime Minister called an election so voters could choose a new government. The union called a strike after wage negotiations failed. The referee called a halt to the game when lightning appeared. The speaker called attention to the safety problem by showing photographs of the damage. The king summoned a council of advisers to discuss the threat. The lawyer summoned a witness to give evidence in court. The general summoned the troops and ordered them to prepare for battle. The injured hiker used an emergency radio to summon help. Maya summoned the courage to speak in front of the large audience. The director summoned all department heads to a meeting in her office. Leo organized a meeting so the neighbors could plan the festival. The students organized an event to raise money for the library. Our association organized a conference for teachers from across the country. Volunteers organized a campaign to encourage people to recycle. The coach organized a team of experienced players for the tournament. Nina organized the files into labeled folders so they were easy to find. I arranged a meeting with the client for Tuesday morning. The receptionist arranged an appointment for me to see the dentist. The school arranged a visit to the science museum for the class. The hotel arranged transportation from the airport to our room. The customer arranged payment by setting up a monthly bank transfer. Ella arranged the flowers in a vase before the guests arrived. We scheduled a meeting for 10 a.m. to review the project. Ben scheduled an appointment with his doctor for next Friday. The company scheduled an interview with each job candidate. The organizers scheduled the conference for the first week of June. The inspector scheduled a visit to the factory for Monday. I scheduled a delivery so the new sofa would arrive on Saturday. They invited 50 guests to celebrate their wedding. The chair invited the finance director to a meeting about next year's budget. The university invited applications from students who wanted a scholarship. The teacher ended the presentation with a question that invited discussion. The secret decision invited criticism because the public had not been consulted. Leaving expensive equipment outside overnight would invite trouble. The charity mobilized hundreds of volunteers to distribute food after the storm. The candidate used social media to mobilize supporters for the weekend rally. The hospital mobilized extra resources to handle the sudden increase in patients. The government mobilized troops to defend the border. The documentary helped mobilize public opinion against ocean pollution. Residents mobilized for action after learning that the local park might close. The commander mustered the troops in the field before sunrise. The proposal failed because its authors could not muster enough support. The party mustered enough votes to pass the bill. Sam mustered the courage to apologize in front of the whole group. The tired employees could not muster much enthusiasm for another late meeting. The soldiers mustered for inspection in neat rows outside the barracks. The candidate held a town hall meeting to rally supporters before the election. The coach rallied the troops with an energetic speech before the final game. Local leaders rallied the community to rebuild the damaged playground. The campaign used personal stories to rally public support for the new hospital. Thousands of people rallied around the cause of clean drinking water. Students gathered outside City Hall to rally for change in education policy. The two leaders met for talks about trade and regional security. The team worked late to meet the deadline and submit the report on time. This building meets all safety requirements set by the city. The new product met customers' expectations because it was reliable and easy to use. The factory added a second shift to meet growing demand for its products. After months of video calls, I finally met my project partner in person. The director assembled a team of experts to solve the technical problem. The guide assembled a group of tourists near the museum entrance. The coordinator assembled the participants in the main hall before the workshop. Detectives assembled the evidence and presented it to the prosecutor. Follow the diagram to assemble the parts into a complete bookshelf. All committee members assembled for a meeting in the council chamber. The street musician's lively performance gathered a crowd around him. The reporter interviewed several witnesses to gather information about the accident. Police gathered evidence from the scene to identify the thief. The petition gathered support from more than 10,000 residents. The environmental campaign gathered momentum as more schools joined it. Residents gathered for a meeting to discuss traffic problems in the neighborhood. Students congregated in the hall before the graduation ceremony began. Reporters congregated outside while they waited for the official announcement. Fans congregated around the entrance hoping to see the actors arrive. Several committee members congregated after the meeting to continue their conversation. During the break, conference guests congregated in small groups near the coffee tables. Families congregated for worship at the temple early in the morning. Every department head attended the meeting and gave a short report. Dr. Lin attended a conference to learn about recent medical research. More than 500 people attended the outdoor charity event. The graduates' families attended the ceremony and watched them receive their diplomas. Children in the village attend school from Monday to Friday. A technician attended to the problem and repaired the machine. Remote employees participated in the meeting through a video call. Each student participated in the discussion by sharing one idea. Local families participated in the event by planting trees together. 200 volunteers participated in a study about sleep habits. Members who participate actively ask questions and offer useful suggestions. A sign language interpreter helped deaf guests participate fully in the workshop. Maria joined the meeting online because she was working from home. Owen joined a study group to prepare for the mathematics exam. The moderator invited the audience to join the discussion after the presentation. Priya joined the marketing team as its new designer. The two charities joined forces to provide more meals for homeless people. Please pull up a chair and join the conversation. The chair commenced the meeting after confirming that everyone was present. The judge commenced proceedings by asking the clerk to read the charges. The new airport will commence operations when its safety tests are complete. Builders will commence work on the bridge next month. The union and management commenced negotiations over a new contract. Because the leak was dangerous, repairs commenced immediately. The committee chair presided over the meeting and guided each item on the agenda. Professor Grant presided over the conference and introduced the main speakers. The university president presided over the graduation ceremony. A senior senator presided over the hearing and questioned the witnesses. An experienced judge presided over the court during the complex trial. The mayor presided over proceedings and made sure that each side could speak. Jade moderated the discussion by giving each speaker equal time. A journalist moderated a panel of experts at the technology conference. The teacher moderated the debate and enforced the speaking rules. Carlos moderated the meeting so that the conversation stayed focused and respectful. The website employs staff to moderate comments and remove abusive messages. The coach moderated fans' expectations by explaining that the young team needed time to improve. The chair recessed the meeting for 20 minutes so members could review the document. The senator recessed the hearing when a witness became ill. The judge recessed the court until the missing lawyer arrived. The committee recessed for lunch and returned at 1 o'clock. The court recessed until Monday because more evidence was needed. The meeting recessed briefly while technicians fixed the microphone. The chair suspended the meeting when protesters entered the room. The judge suspended proceedings until the new evidence could be examined. The factory suspended operations after inspectors found a serious safety risk. Both sides suspended negotiations because they could not agree on wages. The bank suspended payment after detecting possible fraud. We should suspend judgment until we have heard all the facts. We postponed the meeting until Friday because the manager was sick. The council postponed a decision until residents had a chance to comment. Heavy rain forced the organizers to postpone the outdoor event. Lena postponed her trip because her passport had not arrived. The lender allowed the family to postpone payment for 1 month. Officials postponed the project indefinitely, without setting a new date. The director deferred the meeting until the financial report was ready. The board deferred a decision because it needed more information. The store allowed customers to defer payment until the following month. The agency deferred action while experts studied the environmental effects. The committee deferred consideration of the proposal until its next session. We deferred the difficult question until later in the meeting. The chair reconvened the meeting after the short coffee break. The governor reconvened the committee to review the revised plan. Organizers reconvened the conference online after the storm closed the venue. The judge reconvened the hearing when the final witness arrived. The delegates reconvened after lunch to continue their negotiations. The council will reconvene next week to vote on the proposal. The chair resumed the meeting once everyone had returned to the room. The two countries resumed talks after a 3-month pause. Workers and managers resumed negotiations in an effort to prevent a strike. The airport resumed operations after workers cleared the snow. The construction crew resumed work when the rain stopped. The railway resumed normal service after engineers repaired the track. The chair adjourned the meeting after all agenda items had been discussed. The senator adjourned the hearing when no more witnesses remained. The judge adjourned the court at the end of the day's cases. Officials adjourned proceedings because the building had to be evacuated. The committee adjourned for lunch and agreed to return at 2 o'clock. The trial adjourned until Monday, when the next witness would appear. The chair dismissed the meeting after thanking everyone for attending. The teacher dismissed the class 5 minutes early. The mayor dismissed the committee after it completed its investigation. The company dismissed an employee who repeatedly ignored safety rules. The judge dismissed the claim because there was no supporting evidence. Do not dismiss an idea before you have considered its possible benefits. Police opened the road after officers dispersed the crowd. Police dispersed the protesters after they blocked the highway. Heavy rain dispersed the gathering and sent everyone indoors. After the speeches ended, the demonstrators dispersed peacefully. The audience dispersed quickly when the fire alarm sounded. After the main lecture, participants dispersed into small groups for discussion. A sudden burst of rain scattered the crowd in the square. When the dog barked, the birds scattered in all directions. The farmer scattered seeds across the prepared soil. The family scattered his ashes over the sea as he had requested. The explosion scattered debris across the empty road. After the conference, delegates scattered across the region to visit local projects. Police disbanded the group after discovering that it was involved in illegal activity. The council disbanded the committee once its final report was complete. The company disbanded the research team after cancelling the project. Its members voted to disband the organization because it no longer had funding. The peace agreement required the rebel leader to disband the army. The temporary working group disbanded after the meeting because its task was finished. The president dissolved parliament and announced a new election. The board dissolved the committee after accepting its recommendations. Members voted to dissolve the organization and donate its remaining funds. The two owners dissolved their partnership and divided the business assets. Stir the water to dissolve the powdered substance completely. The serious audience dissolved into laughter when the speaker told a joke. The council abolished the committee because another department now performed the same work. The reformers sought to abolish the institution because they considered it unfair. Parliament voted to abolish the outdated law. The government abolished the tax, so consumers no longer had to pay it. The movement fought for many years to abolish slavery and free enslaved people. The new policy abolished the old system and replaced it with a simpler process.